Hi, I'm Dr. Urmi Shah, an ophthalmologist practicing in Mumbai. There has been a lot of concern lately over the infection mucormycosis, also known as the black fungus. Across different specialities, we have anxious patients calling us with minor, unrelated complaints, wanting to know if it could be mucor. But in reality, how worried should we be? Who is at risk? And what are the specific symptoms? To tell us everything we need to know about this infection, with me today is Dr. Himika Gupta. Dr.
Hi.
Himika Gupta is an oculoplasty and eye surgeon practicing in Mumbai and Navi Mumbai. Currently, she is actively involved in treating this black fungus, which is complicating the COVID recoveries. Himika and me were in medical school together, and we go back more than 20 years. Welcome, Himika.
Thanks, Urmi. I really appreciate that you brought up this topic and discussion because it is creating a lot of concern amongst medicos as well as non-medicos.
Right. So let us start. To begin with, please tell us what exactly is this mucor or black fungus that we have all been hearing so much about lately?
Yeah. So the mucor or the black fungus is a form of fungal infection that was rare, and it occurred in severe diabetics or a situation where the patient's immunity was really low,
Okay.
like HIV, AIDS and all. And this infection starts from the nose and it spreads to the sinuses, and if left untreated can go on to the eyes and brain also.
Okay. But why has there been so much talk about it recently? I mean, how many patients of mucor are you actually seeing?
Yes, so mucor used to be, like I said, extremely rare. Typically, we would see one or two cases in an year, that too in a very sick patient admitted in the hospital.
Right.
But now what we are witnessing is a deluge. We are seeing almost 4 to 5 new patients of mucor every week.
Okay.
And especially it's happening in people who had diabetes and are recovering from COVID. So it's honestly like from a frying pan, from the fire to a frying pan situation, wherein
Right.
a person has just sort of recovered from COVID and he has to face yet another infection, a different kind actually.
Different kind of infection. Right. So, but who is at risk of getting it during the COVID recovery? Is it limited only to diabetics or others also?
Yeah, so what we are witnessing currently is that some of the people who are recovering from COVID, whether previously known diabetics or not, are landing up with very high sugar levels, which means around 300 or above that also.
Okay.
This could be due to steroids, which is obviously used in COVID because it's a life-saving drug.
Correct.
So it's not avoidable. But yeah, basically, if the sugars go uncontrolled, go beyond a certain level, and the overall immunity of the individual is decreased, then the mucor attacks.
Understood.
Very high and uncontrolled blood sugars,
Right.
they have been the underlying cause of all these cases that we are seeing in the recent past.
Okay.
In fact, interestingly, certain centers where they do a very strict sugar control, they've not even reported a single case of mucor in their COVID recovered patients. So this uncontrolled sugar seems to be the culprit, you know.
Be the culprit, right? So then, in that case, how does one ensure that their blood sugar levels are actually maintained during their COVID and recovery phase?
Yeah, so nowadays what we are recommending and the other specialists are also encouraging is that patients need to watch their sugars for 30 days post discharge once they are home after COVID or
Right.
they've recovered from COVID. And you need to report to your doctor anytime if the sugars are consistently above 200. That is
Okay.
what is the current consensus.
Right. Now, as you mentioned earlier, this mucormycosis complicates COVID recovery. So, how
Yes.
soon in the illness do we typically see it?
Yeah, so it happens in the recovery phase mostly. We are seeing cases coming to us 3 to 6 weeks after getting COVID. So
Okay.
it doesn't happen in day one of COVID illness for sure.
Right.
Few of our patients still test positive for COVID when they come in with the mucormycosis, but most of them have recovered. They are now negative on RT-PCR. So when we look at it, say 6 weeks to 45 days post-COVID, if you have reasons to believe that your sugars are not going to be under control, then one might be concerned and, be on a lookout for this disease.
Right. And typically, if the time has gone beyond 45 days, like if somebody had COVID
Yeah,
2 or 3
then there is
months ago, then very less
then
chance.
there is no reason. Yeah. As per the
worried.
current pattern, there's no reason to think about mucor back then.
Correct. Sure. So supposing somebody does fall into this time frame with the risk factors, with the sugar, what are the warning signs or the red flag signs that they should be concerned about?
Yeah, so these are important. And like I said, it starts from the nose and progresses to the sinuses behind the cheek or, in the forehead area. So any new onset is the important word. Like during COVID, you will have a nose block, you will have some rhinitis, the typical cold-like features, cold cough. But any new onset nose block, especially with a blood-tinged or a blackish sort of nasal discharge, that's one thing. Or a facial pain or a headache, which is often one-sided because, the sinus, like one sinus alone could be affected. So it could be one-sided. Any new onset facial or cheek swelling or even numbness, on the cheek, you touch both sides and realize one side you don't feel it that well.
Okay.
Eye problems also, like decrease or sudden loss of vision, eye drooping or inability to open the eyelid is drooping down, restriction in moving the eye up and down or sideways, swelling in the eye, around the eyelids and this region. Okay, so these things need some attention. Again, new onset black spots on the roof of the mouth, because sometimes this can start from the oral cavity, this fungus. So black spots on the mouth also. And in later stages, of course, there are black patches on the skin, but that's like by then the diagnosis is pretty much established. So in early on, it's more of the nasal discharge, eye issues, and sometimes black patches on the roof of your mouth, the oral cavity.
So roof of the mouth or inside the nose. So people should not get worried if they are seeing some new black spot on their skin early on. I mean, it's not going to start like that.
No, because generally that happens very late. By then the patient is really unwell. Yeah.
Understood. And many patients are reaching out to us because they're worried about symptoms in their kids. What's your take on that? I mean, can mucor affect kids as well?
Yeah, that's a very common question. Even I get a lot of patients reaching out to me for that. Well, my answer would be overall a no. So far, we are yet to hear of any post-COVID mucormycosis in children. Now, if you look into textbooks and journal reports, yes, this mucor can affect children when their immunity is very low, when the child is anyways very sick and is already admitted for other reasons. So in those cases, they can have this as a secondary infection. But in the current pandemic scenario, from whatever network we have across India, also most of us oculoplasty surgeons, we are yet to see even a single case of a child landing up with mucormycosis post-COVID. So yes,
that's great. I think that's very reassuring for all the parents out there. So now please do tell us if somebody is concerned that they have any of these symptoms, then who is the doctor that they should get in touch with?
Yeah, so any of these red flag signs, the nasal discharge or the new onset nasal block, facial swelling, I think the ENT, the ear, nose and throat specialists, they are the best people to get in touch with. Based on the scenario, they will decide whether they want to look into your nose, maybe take a sample for lab testing for fungus, and an MRI scan may be advised early on in the disease. Obviously, if there are any eye signs, they need to reach out to the eye doctors like you and me. But it really begins with the nose. So getting an ENT specialist involved is of paramount importance.
Sure. And what are the treatment options that is available to somebody after they contract this infection?
Yeah, so mucor, once diagnosed and proven, has to be treated pretty aggressively. It has to be fast. Generally, a patient needs an admission in the hospital, and injectable antifungal drugs, which is, against the fungus, need to be given. This has to be combined with a surgical clearing of the affected parts of the nose and sinus or wherever it's affected, in the nearby areas. And of course, as I mentioned earlier on, controlling the sugars is of paramount importance. So that would happen simultaneously along with the
Correct.
antifungals and the surgical clearing.
Surgical clearing, right. Now, I think a very important thing we need to know about is that what can be done to prevent the infection. Is there anything we can do to, try and ensure that patients are not landing up contracting mucor?
Yeah, so this is a very important, and unfortunately, we don't have a straightforward answer for it because, well, we were not prepared for this coming our way. But what we can tell you as of today for sure is the sugar control. In fact, the specialists now feel that the COVID infection itself may be responsible for creating a diabetes-like situation in the body. And
Okay.
that's what is causing the blood sugars to increase. So many patients who were not known to be diabetics before, after
Right.
COVID recovery, do land up having very high sugar levels. And this situation is also complicated by drugs like steroids and other medicines, which reduce immunity and contribute to increased sugar. And of course, these drugs are life-saving drugs in COVID, so we have to use them.
Correct. Correct.
So that's one scene. So the COVID infection itself is causing this indirectly somewhere.
Right.
And when it comes to preventive measures, well, one is the simple betadine gargles for oral hygiene. Like I said, black patches on the inside of the mouth also could be a initial sign. So cleanliness of the mouth and ensuring the hygiene of the humidifiers, the oxygen support which is given in the hospital settings when the patient has COVID. So they have these humidifiers. So cleanliness of that is another thing which has been recommended.
Okay.
Important point is the use of steroids. That has to be very careful and judicious. Meaning
Understood.
we cannot start off with steroids on someone without the doctor knowing it or just, self-medicating. So only when necessary, when recommended under the guidance of a doctor, that's when we would like to start steroids in COVID. Right. And if you are a known diabetic and you land up having COVID infection, please monitor your blood sugars carefully. We focus on what is our SpO2 and the respiratory rate and all, but sugars is very important. And let your routine diabetic doctor also who's treating you for diabetes know that you've had COVID, so that if he or she wants to adjust your levels or medicines, they'll do it.
Sure.
If you're not a diabetic and you get COVID, again, monitor your blood sugars. So that's another important thing because that's what we are seeing right now. And especially if you've been given steroids, that's one thing where you can exercise caution. Just watch your blood sugars. And well, if you're not a diabetic and you've not had COVID, then there's no reason why you should even think about this disease. So just don't stress out. That's also important to remember.
Very important, right. And can you just tell us what are not the symptoms of mucor?
Yeah, so with all the discussion on mucor, we all tend to overthink. So there are certain things in the eyes which need not be mucor. Like, simple painless gradual decrease of vision, which has happened over a few months, which has been there maybe since the past second lockdown or whatever, less likely to be mucormycosis. It could be just a change in specs or maybe a cataract, which is maturing in someone elderly. And neither of these are an emergency or a cause of alarm.
Right.
Another common confusable that we encounter is sore eyes or redness, the pink eyes or the red eyes, which is called conjunctivitis, precisely. So this is a common COVID-associated eye finding. Many people who've had COVID do get these sore eyes or conjunctivitis, and that need not be mucor. So generally, you obviously reach out to your eye doctor, and the chances are that he or she will do a video consult, and it will settle with eye drops.
With eye drops.
Yeah.
Right. So I think Dr. Himika has shared with us some very important information regarding this new dreaded infection. To summarize, I would just like to list out some take-home message. The take-home points would be this, that if you do not have any risk factors, if you have not been hospitalized, you have not taken oxygen, if you have recovered from COVID well at home, then there is a very little chance of you actually contracting mucor. This is a very important point to control the panic that has set about. Because where anyone who has the slightest headache or a red eye, like you said, while recovering from COVID, they are panicking and thinking that they have contracted mucor.
Yeah, right. And that's very stressful.
That is very stressful. I know, because, you know, people don't know right now what to think, what to believe. So it's very important to understand this point. The second point, as you have repeatedly stressed, the importance of control of blood sugars. If you are diabetic or if you have taken steroids, ensure a very strict control. If you are not diabetic and have not taken steroids during COVID, still monitor your sugars for 1 month after, because like you said, COVID itself can cause the spike in sugars. You've highlighted some good points for, maintaining basic hygiene like betadine goggles and ensuring that the oxygen cylinders, the humidifiers hygiene is maintained. And lastly, we would, collectively like to stress that do not hesitate to take steroids just because you think it's going to, be a risk factor. Steroids are the life-saving medication in COVID, and your doctor would have prescribed it only if it is absolutely essential, but take it judiciously. Do not self-medicate. Do not medicate longer than the doctor has asked you to. And while you're on steroids, make sure that you check and monitor your blood sugar so that you do not land up in any other complications. Right. So that's the message from us. And stay healthy and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.